This game hurts me. I kind of wanted. I think I said in the pregame of Illinois Duke that I wanted Duke to win this game, even though I picked Illinois. And early, it was looking good. It was like, yep, Duke's defense is flying around. They're up 3-0. Luke Altmaier struggling against that blitz we talked about. Their defensive line was handling the run very well, which was a concern for me going into this game. And then their punt returner muffs a punt.
Yeah, Illinois had 5 rushing yards. Altmaier had 12 passing yards, if I remember correctly, and he was sacked twice before the muff.
And then the muff happens, and then they score on the short field because of that. And then that just felt like it gave Altmaier and Illinois the step they need to get going. And as much as the defense tried, the offense proceeded to throw a pick and fumble 3 more times.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to win that game. Duke actually had a higher net success rate play-to-play than Illinois did in this game, but turnovers just so backbreaking to have 5 of them. They end up losing 45-19. And that doesn't really tell the story because the talent gap and the quality gap between these teams is not that large, but you can't put the ball in the dirt 4 times and expect to win this kind of game. So it just really hurts.
And Illinois didn't even really put it on until the second half.
No.
Like it was a 1-point game going into halftime.
Even in the second, in the second quarter, Duke is driving to get back in the game. Mensah fumbles in the red zone. They get back before the half by making 2 ridiculous plays. Mensah throws a beautiful back shoulder fade to Andrel Anthony for like a 30-yard game. And then I think
the toe tap was crazy.
Sanders, I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm-mm.
You go look it up right now.
Who I'll just
the Andrel Anthony touchdown.
Doesn't matter. You can spell it.
Yeah.
Either way it's pronounced.
I think that's one of the catches of the season right there. Like that catch was unbelievable. That is toe drag swag.
If you put an A and D and it suggests Andrel Anthony catch, you know it's
yeah.
good.
Oh yeah.
It was.
Funnily enough, he's played at both Michigan and Oklahoma. Was it his 2 previous stops? So.
Correct. That catch was unbelievable. And that's to get back to within 1 point before the half. And then in the second half, they're down 1 score. They complete a pass, a little like a 2-yard pass. Receiver beats one guy. It's a 30-yard gain at this point. He's all the way down the field. Peanut punch, fumble. So the turnovers was just brutal for Duke. It was a story last year. I remember the SMU game. They turned it over 7 times and still lose by 2 points. So that kind of like they are in these games and they have the talent to win these games, but they cannot keep hold of the football, and it's got to suck. I thought, for one, I was hoping that there would be some kind of home field advantage. There was not. There really was.
It was
no
terrible
in the crowd. It was really kind of sad to see, to be honest. But Luke Altmaier was accurate. He made a lot of actually high level throws in this game, 9.5 yards per completion, and then on top of the turnovers as being like a padlock stat, this one. You're thinking Illinois versus Duke. You're thinking ground game. Duke, big explosive plays, over the top, big plays, big touchdowns. Illinois has 8 plays of 20 yards or more. Duke only has 5.
Yeah.
Not going to be a recipe for Duke winning a game in really any way, and that was just brutal to see.
And this one does sting for Duke, but I think they showed a lot of quality. It's just... They're going to be doing some ball security drills. They'll be soaping up those balls.
The problem is, given the way that the playoff is structured, they were in playoff conversation this week. Josh Pate talked about Duke making the playoff on his show.
About it.
We talked about it.
We're in the same vein as Josh Pate, guys.
There's an avenue for Duke to go 11-1, where they beat Georgia Tech or Clemson, and they are 11-1 because the rest of the games were winnable. And they're right there in the playoff hunt. And they let what is a huge moment slip away through their fingers.
Literally slip through their fingers 4 times.
So it's just it sucks. That's a season-wrecking game right there. I don't think you can necessarily respond from it. Turnovers is something that's gonna. It's not even a bad luck thing. It usually is, but in this case, I just don't feel like it is. I think this is the team.
I don't think
they
they're
turned it over 3
times
against Elon.
Sure.
And this
You're
is going to
not
be a
wrong. You're not
problem
wrong.
that might plague them the entire year.
Yeah, which is sad 'cause I also think Minsaw flashed pretty well in this game.
It's something we talked about in the preview is like we want, or Duke wants to be good to keep Mensa, and I don't think we're going down that path right now.
Yeah, and you can't talk about Illinois being one of the most experienced teams. So they're gonna take the gift of 5 turnovers and do exactly what they did and beat you by almost 30.
Did y'all already talk about Hank Beatty?
No, I was leaving for you because I know
Alright.
you were pretty enamored with
Yeah,
his game,
it-
which he had a great game.
Did you see his stats, JP? Dude was insane. He had
Yeah.
8 catches on 8 targets, which means he's now 15 for 15. He has not dropped a pass yet. 128 yards, which is 16 yards per reception. He had 5 first down catches, and then he also had a carry for 25 yards and a touchdown. I mean, the guy was insane.
Last week he had a punt return for a touchdown.
Yeah,
he's really kind of becoming a playmaker for
exactly.
Luke Altmaier. Him
an
and
offense that really needs it.
Justin Bowick had his 3rd touchdown of the year yesterday, and then still like the running backs and Valentine Fegan ran well, each having touchdowns. An impressive offensive showing for Illinois. I think it shows that like to be able to score 45 points as a Big Ten team, I think is super impressive. And they scored 52 last week. They're going to play Western Michigan, and then they're going to have the big game against Indiana. The sky, I wouldn't say is the limit. I think just below the sky is the limit.
The playoffs is there.
The playoffs is in picture, though.
Yeah.
And they get to host Ohio State. And really outside of that, their other 2 big games are USC at home and at Washington. And if they can manage 10-2, this is a playoff team.
And now Illinois are probably the second biggest Duke fans behind actual Duke fans.
This is true.
Because 9-3, 10-2 Duke looks a lot better than 7-5 or 6-6.
For sure.
Absolutely.
As there goes Derek.